Okay, I'm back at it. I've got using my transformer this time, not my test box. The test box needs a little work. So I got the transformer going through a rectifier. I'm reading the voltage out of the transformer, which is AC. So there you're going to see 10 volts AC. Then it goes through the rectifier, and I'm bringing it over here to this voltmeter, and you can barely read through all the wiring. 6 volts. That's 6 volts DC is coming out of my volt regulator, which is a 6 volt regulator. It's a 7806. The 6 means 6 volts. We got 6 volts. And I've got it routed to a thermometer. And I've drilled a hole in the housing, and I've got the heater core heating, and I've got the thermometer sitting right on top of it. And we're reading 103 centigrade. And if I simulate chuffing on it, you can see it went down to 98, back up to 100, it reheats. But one of my concerns is this took several minutes, I would say 4 or 5 minutes to get there. So what I'm going to do now is just drop the volts and see where this thing ends up, and make a little log, and then I mean, this is not bad. This will make smoke. In fact, I'll put it on top of the smoker and see what that does when I put a battery on the motor, and see just how much smoke will this generate, you know, out the chute like it's supposed to. Let's see if I can do that with one hand. I'm not too bad. Okay, now I need my little battery. There it is. It's even got a little clip stuck on it still, except for it's wound around something. Okay, here we go. Where's the other end? There it is. Okay, here we go. And that's the negative, so that goes there. Okay, now I need something that will clip this. I don't know if that'll clip it or not. Yeah, it looks like it. Then I'll come here and let's see if we get any smoke. Oh my God, did you see that? Where is it? There it is. Well, that's pretty good smoke. Will it cool down to? Oh my God, 68 degrees. It just drops like a rock, but it's climbing right back. If I do puffs, chuff, 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 it's gonna drop. I think that's the problem. Chuffing, you lose the power of the heat, so it won't smoke as well as we'd like. And then when it's sitting, like if you stopped at a station and something and left it run, it would overheat. Maybe that's what happened. Let's see if I can just hook onto this, make smoke, and see the temperature at the same time. Not really. You can see it, but you can't read it. It's down to 60, 58. I mean, it's still making smoke, but it's not great. Now, the other thing we could do, this is 9 volts. It's supposed to only get 5. I could even put it on 3. Ha! So if I put it on a 5 volt power supply and ran the smoke, it would last longer. But at least now I have a mechanism. If everything stays up, it's kind of a little messy, but I'll organize it. I may modify this so that I can use it, or I may just get it out of the way. I don't know, but we'll figure this out. What I'm going to do now is put in, I think I'm going to swap out the, I'll swap out the 6 for an 8 or a 9 and see what I can do. I may put in a regulator after the regulator, because this one is variable. You see that? I could just screw it in and turn down the output. So I may use this to turn down the output. It gives me a little more control. I won't burn anything up, and I can actually do these experiments a little more regularly. See how much time has flown by here. It's 3:45. I can get quite a bit done. So anyway, I'm on the corner of my bench, and it looks like it, doesn't it? I'm just a mess. The other thing I've been doing is I had to do another repair on this thing. It got clogged for some reason, but look at that frame. That's just the first few levels. I'm running it on a very high quality output because I want to see just one, how good can I make it, and will it be stiff and strong in the use that I have in mind for it. So we're making a new chassis for all the new parts for the Indian tender. There it is, Indian tender. I got to make a new bracket for that. I broke it. At any rate, I got to get his electronics mounted, and then I'm going to start working on his smoke with his particular type of electronic, which is a Lionel TMCC. So he's got a different power supply feeding his smoke. He has a different power supply feeding his smoke. He's got Protosound 2 power supply feeding his smoke, and it's going to give it about 15 volts. So I really got to come up with something in there, keep that from melting down. I mean, it'll run, but it won't run for very long. So my work is planned. The box almost worked. I think it was overheating. It only has one vent and no fan, and it had a huge rectifier. It had a 315 and a fairly large heat sink, but no fan. So I'm thinking if I put a fan on that, a fan in here, it might actually do what I want it to do. So now look, just sitting and talking, it gets up to 110. And then if I just touch it, if I can get this thing to help me out here, just touch it. Look at that, one chuff, and it just drops to 106. Two chuffs, 104. A long chuff, 96. That's a nice chuff though, isn't it? Ooh, yeah. But if I keep going, it dissipates. It becomes a wisp. It gets a little wispy. It's a little wispy. And as you can see, drops 70. It's almost like a fan cooling overheated component. Isn't that funny? But what I really want to do is vaporize the oil and make smoke. I know. That's really... Okay, more later. I'll fill you in as it goes.